Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's session with my equestrian performance and mindset coach, Ben Netterfield, was all about tackling turns and setting up the perfect line and striding to a jump. Let me tell you, this session really tested both Pablo and me. It wasn't just about technical riding, it was also a challenge for my mindset and emotional control. Plenty to unpack here. First up, a quick note about the footage quality. My camera had a bit of trouble focusing again during today's session, so the video is a little fuzzy and grainy in places. I hope this doesn't take away from the value of the content, as there's still plenty to take away from this training. Thanks for bearing with me. The focus of the session was clear. Ride the correct curve path through a turn to create the best line to the jump. Why does this matter? Well, the right curve ensures Pabs has the balance, rhythm and impulsion he needs to approach the jump straight and hit the right takeoff spot. It's not just about the geometry, it's about giving him the best chance to succeed. When I ride a balanced, smooth turn, I maintain control of the rhythm and forwardness, preventing Pabs from drifting or losing balance. And for Pabs, this was particularly important because of his tendencies to drift left when unsure of the distance. Our goals for today were straightforward but challenging. Ride the right curve path, create a balanced turn that sets us up perfectly for the line and the distance. Keep Pabs engaged and straight. Work on rhythm, forwardness and minimising his left drift. And control my unruly right hand, especially when I'm unsure of the spot. I need to stop interfering and trust the process. We began with warm-up exercises to get Pabs connected and adjustable. Starting with a cross rail, I focused on riding an active balanced canter. Then we moved to a small vertical off a tight left turn, testing Pabs' rhythm and responsiveness to my aids. The main exercise involved a course with 2 oxes and a vertical. Here, the challenge was to maintain straightness and rhythm while riding a smooth curve path through the turn. Getting the curve path right was harder than it sounded. On my first attempt, I went too wide in the turn, and we ended up too close to the jump. On the next attempt, I overcorrected and rode the turn too tight. That's when my unruly right hand kicked in. I pulled Pabs up in an attempt to fix the distance. Classic rider error. Instead of sitting and waiting, I shortened his stride, which only caused him to step off the line.
So all you've got to make sure is from wherever you leave the track there, that you're straight by here.
Okay.
That's what you're trying to make sure. So if you can go a little longer or a little shorter, but then you're just making the shape of the turn, so you're meeting it here, going that way.
As Ben always says, your curve path starts and ends equidistant from where you leave the track to where you start your line to the fence. This means the turn needs to be smooth and balanced, with Pabs engaged and forward. It's about creating flow, not forcing it. Coming into today's session, I made a conscious decision to think, feel and believe differently about stops. My goal was to stretch my comfort zone by building evidence that I can ride through challenges without resorting to my right hand reflex. But the stop still happened. One stride out, my cautious mind kicked in. I panicked about the distance, and my right hand reacted. Pabs stepped off the line, and we had a left drift stop. Watching the footage later, it was clear this wasn't Pabs' fault, it was mine. My mind perceived a risk, and instead of sitting up and pushing him forward, I tried to micromanage the stride. This moment frustrated me to tears. I had the tools to solve the problem, but let my fear take over. However, what I'm proud of is how I handled it afterwards. I grounded myself, let the mistake go, and focused on riding a better turn. On the next attempt, I widened the path, kept Pabs in rhythm, and nailed the approach. After practicing the curve path to the oxer, things started to click. When I finally got my geometry right, balancing the turn while keeping Pabs in rhythm and forward, he hit the striding and takeoff spot perfectly. It was such a rewarding moment and a reminder of how important it is to trust the process. And my key takeaways? The right curve path is critical. It's not just about geometry. It's about rhythm, balance and impulsion. Trust the process. Micromanaging or overcorrecting creates more problems. Sit up, stay calm and let my aids work. Straightness starts in the turn. A balanced turn sets up the line and gives Pabs the confidence to approach defence. And mindset is everything. Mistakes happen, but it's how I recover that matters. I need to focus on solving the problem, not dwelling on it. And that's that. Thanks for joining me on this journey with Pabs. Tackling turns might sound simple, but as you've seen today, it's a technical and mental challenge. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you found this helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.